And before leaving office, President Obama began easing sanctions against Sudan, imposed in 1988 to force the government to stop killing its own people. This week, activists are urging Congress to enforce the sanctions. Lauren Ashburn talked to one of those activists.
David Detoni, Director of Operations for the Sudan Relief Fund, was one of the people testifying. He joins us now. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
What did you say to lawmakers about the situation in Sudan?
Well, I said the situation in Sudan has been allowed to continue for way too long. And we need to hold the government of Sudan accountable for their acts of terrorism that they've committed against the United States.
Against the United States. Explain what those are.
Well, they hosted Osama bin Laden in the 90s. Two of our embassies were blown up after bin Laden had been in Khartoum for over 6 years. They've hosted other terrorist organizations. Now, the Obama administration said that Sudan's cooperation had gotten better with America.
And they lifted the sanctions.
And they proposed to lift some sanctions. I just said I think that's an unforgivable sin. And I think that we should hold them accountable.
Give me an example of how the approximately 3% of Christians are being treated in Sudan. It's 97% Muslim.
Yes. If you're in Khartoum, where a lot of Christians are, you're a second-class citizen. Your church can be taken away from you. If there's a land dispute, the government will just subtly allow it to happen. This recently just happened, and a man was killed, and the government really did nothing. If you're a Muslim and you convert to Christianity, you're in trouble. You could be killed. If you're in the Nuba Mountains, where there are more Christians, 30, 40, 50% of the population are Christian.
Just in the mountains?
In the Nuba Mountains. Well, there's been a civil war there that General Bashir declared on them.
25 years ago, was that?
It's happened off and on for 30 or 40 years. And there was supposed to be a political resolution 6 years ago. And Khartoum just decided no. And so they've been bombing innocent women and children. Schools, hospitals have foxholes next to them where the kids can just jump into the foxholes because a bomb comes and you don't even hear it. And the shrapnel spins, boom, you're dead.
And you were there and you saw the shrapnel.
Absolutely. I have some. I picked it up just to keep it. I wanted to show lawmakers yesterday, but I was a little concerned about them not letting me in with it.
Well,
so
with some shrapnel in your hand through the X-ray machine.
That's right.
That was probably a good call.
Yeah.
Let's talk about South Sudan very quickly. There was a bloody civil war. You have Sudan, South Sudan. What's happening with Christians there?
Well, it's mostly Christians in South Sudan. Unfortunately, it's a power struggle. It's a resource struggle because there are a lot of resources in South Sudan. And the situation is just disintegrating into chaos.
Tribal, very tribal among Christians?
Very tribal. Yeah, very much tribal and horrific. So the Obama administration just didn't quite do enough, and we're not in front of this enough. So President Trump is inheriting a potential human catastrophe on a massive scale.
And with famine too, right?
Famine and over 1 million refugees, 2 million in the region, and so it's very unstable for the region. And so we need, and I'm asking the Trump administration to get out in front of this so that on their watch, we don't see a genocide, we don't see massive starvation.
Okay, thank you so much. David Detoni, Director of Operations for the Sudan Relief Fund. You testified in front of the House Africa Committee. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.